guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Emmy, and today I have a foundation routine for you. Foundation, skin type products, a little bit of fake freckle action, a little bit of brow. Yeah, I hope you enjoy. I know I've been away for a while, but I'm really determined to have more consistent videos this year. That's like one of my 2020 goals, is to have more consistent videos and really make an effort at it because I love doing it, but it's just been hard when you have jobs and stuff. Like a real life job, it is hard to kind of find the time properly, but yeah, I'm gonna really make an effort this year. So yeah, I hope you enjoy this foundation skin routine. Okay, let's get stuck right in. So I've already done my cleanser, moisturiser and SPF already. So I use the Universal Emulsion from Lixia Skin, I think that's how you say it. So I use that as my moisturiser. Absolutely love that moisturiser. And then the Heliocare 360 fluid cream for my SPF. So next I'm just going to pop a little bit of the Glossier Future Dew on. It's kind of like a little bit like a serum, what they call it, like an oil serum hybrid, but you can kind of pop it on top of your skincare or on top of your makeup. So I like to put it where I like to glow a bit more. Next I'm going to go in with my primer. This is the Origins Original Skin Pore Perfecting Cooling Primer with Willow Herb. It's like a mousse, just like that. It's really cooling and it really like vanishes the pores, which I love. I've learned to be a lot more like delicate with my skin because I used to really like tug it and rub it, but now I'm just kind of like gently pushing everything in. This is going to be one of the primers that I wear on my wedding day. I am engaged, as you can see. I'm getting married in exactly 5 months from the day of filming this, which is very exciting. So in June. So today I'm going to be wearing a mixture of two different foundations. One is the Daniel San Invisible Radiance Foundation and Concealer. So you have the foundation here and then the concealer there. You may have seen like Pixie Boo or whatever using this one. And I'm also using the Veil Sunset Skin. So this one gives me a great illumination and like finish to the skin, but it's very sheer. This one has a little bit more coverage, still very light, it's like light medium coverage, but it also is quite blurring, so I like to mix the two. The thing I also like about these two foundations, mixing them, is that this one's quite peachy. This is N1, and then this one is porcelain, but it's quite grey. So they kind of balance each other out quite well. And I just use my fingers to just gently tap it out. So once I've got it kind of like well mixed, I then go in with, this is the Unicorn Cosmetics. I think it's like their contour brush, but I like to use it for foundation. I just gently buff everything out. It's nice and even. It doesn't give much coverage like either of these foundations, but they just give a nice kind of finish to the skin and a nice blur. Okay, and then I go in with the Unicorn Cosmetics sponge, just to really make sure it's not cakey. I then just like to go in with a bit of spray, just because foundation can just make my face feel a bit sticky. So I'm using the Glow Recipe Watermelon Spray, just to refresh the skin a little bit. It's super duper fine, so it doesn't feel like sticky. I'm just going to put a little bit of corrector under my eyes just to brighten them. I'm just using the Bobbi Brown Porcelain Bisque corrector. Been using this one for years and it is really good. It is just quite expensive and it's quite thick as well. Like you really don't want to use too much. You only really want to use a tiny bit. So I don't really cake it on, I just dab it on just to brighten. This is the Veil Complexion Fix in N1. And as you can see, it's quite bright, but it's a little bit darker than that corrector. Sometimes if I'm not wearing foundation, I'll just wear this. Like just dot it around. It's kind of like, what's it called by YSL? Touche Eclat, which I have loved for years. Like when I worked for YSL, like that was one of my favourite products, and my mum's been using that for years, like ever since I remember makeup. That's always been something that's in her makeup bag. She absolutely loves it, but I think she's been using it since it launched actually. When did it launch? Like 90s maybe? I think. But this is a bit more neutral, it's not as pinky. And it's not, I wouldn't say got more coverage, it's just because it's more neutral, not quite as like peach, it's not as corrective. So I like to wear it with another corrector so I get a bit more kind of layer. Whereas if I want something ultra shit, I'll go just with the YSL because it will kind of correct with it, but it won't be as much coverage, if that makes sense, because it's not layered with another concealer. I hope that makes sense. It's just like what I prefer, but all of them are really great, those products. That kind of sets, like my makeup kind of sets, I go in with my brows. I like to brush them up with a toothbrush. This is a bamboo toothbrush, just because I feel like it fluffs them out really well. There's quite a few different brow products that I like. But I feel like the products I'm going to use today are like my ultimate favourites. And probably what I'm going to use on wedding day. I do really love soap brows when I want a proper like intense brow, but I feel like it's just a bit more high maintenance. And I like, have to do that before I do my foundation, just because you need to kind of clean up if any soap gets anywhere. And I like to really like work it into the skin. But for this I don't have to, I can just do it straight away. So this is Boy Brow by Glossier. This is like revolutionary if you like a fluffy brow. I thought, oh, like what difference could this make to any other kind of small brow gel? Like I used to use, I think it was called More Brow by Model Co. Which I think they're still around. And that was really good. That was kind of like a dupe of the Gimme Brow by Benefit, which is also really good. That one's a bit more like fibrous, I'd say. But this is like the best one. I think it's the way it holds the brow as well. Like a lot of those small brow ones, they're like tinted and they make them full, but they don't really give it as well like a good hold, and like if you brush it up they'll kind of just brush back down. Whereas with this one you can really get that kind of fanned out brow effect that you see like on Instagram and on models and stuff. Next product, I absolutely love brow pens. Ooh, brow pens. I do really like brow pencils as well, but brow pens I tend to like be really in love with. I used to love with the MAC one. They brought one out when I was working there. Oh, I don't work at MAC, by the way. In my last video I was talking about that I still work at MAC. I don't work there anymore. Not because of anything bad, it's just time to move on. I'll probably do like a video about why at some point, but anyway, when I was working there, they had like the brow pen. I think it came out about a year ago, or maybe even a little bit longer than that, but I absolutely loved that. But it came with this bloody like sponge thing on the end. Where do I still have one? So it has the pen end, which is like that. So it's like a felt tip. It's got like little bristles. It's great, but it's got this bloody sponge on the end, like one of those bouncy ones that have the powder in here and then like the sponge. And it's okay. It's just a bit like I don't need it. So it's just a bit of like a waste of money. But I was also trying to find like a cheaper one because when I was working there it was really cheap. Why am I covered in like brow powder now? When I was working there it was really cheap because I had a discount, but now that I don't work there I don't have the discount anymore, so I don't really want to keep replenishing it because it runs out really quick. But I found this one from Soap and Glory, which is really good. It's the Brow Archery Brow Tint and Shaping Pencil. So it has a pencil on the end, which is actually really nice. It's kind of thicker than what I'm used to, but it gives a really lovely result. And I like that when I want like a really, really full brow. So if my brows are a little bit sheerer, going through a sheerer time, and then it has the same kind of brow tip. And this one's a little bit, not darker in colour, but I'd say probably a little bit richer. This is in the shade dark brown. And I just literally flick it. Now that my brows are a lot featherier and fuller than they used to be, I can literally just kind of fill in the sparseness, whereas before I'd have to really like draw them in. Whereas now I can just look gently add little extras where I want them, which is usually just on the tail end where the brow's a little bit weaker. Next I'm going to do blush, I think. Calm down. I absolutely adore these, the Daniel Sandler watercolour blushes. So good. This is the shade Flush. It's like a baby pink. I just add one drop onto my finger. It's literally water, like a water texture, and it just adds the most beautiful glow. to the cheeks. That really looks natural and it's super quick. You don't have to blend it quite as much as like a cream blush. And then whatever's like on the tip, I'll take on like my nose, because I love a rosy nose, and onto my brow bone. Because whatever blush I wear, I always put on my brow. Even if I'm gonna do like an eye look or something, just because it keeps the skin looking real, I feel. Because if you're naturally blushing, you don't just blush on your cheeks, you blush on your nose, you blush on your brow, a little bit on the forehead. So it just keeps everything kind of looking good and stops you from looking too clowny on the cheek, I feel. Even though you think, well, you're applying more blush, so you're going to look more intense, but actually it just makes it look more like your skin. You can see that really well in, what is it, Doja Cat? I can't remember what her name is, but she sings that really good song that's on TikTok. I think it's in the Birds of Prey film actually. But she did that video that was really viral on Vogue, and she was putting blush like all over her face, and it just looked so cool. When she was doing it, you're kind of like, how is this coming together? But as soon as she put like mascara and stuff on, it looked amazing. I absolutely love blush. Like ever since I was like at school, like blush was like one of my favourite things to do. Okay, if you need any of the edges blended, you can just grab your sponge and just blend a bit more on the edge of anywhere. Okay, and then I think I'll put a little bit of my cream highlight on now. So this is the MAC Luna cream colour base. Love this stuff. If they discontinue it, I will cry. But it's fine, there's many other things I love. But this is just so beautiful. I think because it's that whitish, like moony kind of tone, that it just looks so good on like a fair skin and blends so well. I never really liked the shade Pearl, but that was really popular. Hush was really nice, but that looked quite dark on my skin. Although I'm not a massive powder gal, I am absolutely sworn by my Laura Mercier loose powder, like most people. It's just the best powder. It doesn't look like powder, and that's what I love about it. I use the puff that comes with it, or doesn't come with it. Well, mine did because I got a holiday one, but it's everywhere. You can buy it separately, but I just apply it around my pores. It's like the best powder if you have pores, because it just vanishes them and makes your skin look really like blurred, like it's photoshopped. If you've ever watched like an old, I say old, like a 20-year-old kind of movie, like rom-com type movie, so lots of Reese Witherspoon movies, or like Amanda Bynes, like I feel like their skin in those movies just always looked so airbrushed, like it just looked poreless and just like porcelain. And I feel like having like a loose powder like this is what definitely helped contribute towards that. Especially Reese Witherspoon, like her skin always looked amazing, and when I wear this powder I kind of think of that's the kind of finish that it gives. But I don't apply it everywhere just because I don't really like a heavy powdered look, but whatever's left in my puff I'll just blend out a little bit, but I kind of keep it off the cheek. Maybe on my wedding day I might put it a little bit more over the skin, but for now I'm just keeping it in the porous areas. Next is bronzer. Today, like bronzer and blush, I tend to switch up pretty much every day, but today I'm going to use my Laguna from NARS. This is just in that Stephen Klein palette, and this is the best bronzer brush, the So Eco finishing brush. I don't know if you can still get it. You can probably get it on like Amazon or something, but it's the best bronzer brush. So good. On my wedding day I'm probably going to use my Chanel bronzer, the Bronze Universal Tan de Soleil Tan, what is it called? Soleil Tan de Chanel, that's what it's called. That cream one, because I absolutely love that. And then I might put a shimmery bronzer on top, like my MAC So Ceylon Mineralized Skin Finish, which is a very old school product, and people probably think I'm really gross for keeping it, but I absolutely love that product, and MAC need to bring it back, please, MAC. Absolutely love that product. It was like, not discontinued, but it was like a limited edition one. I absolutely love it. I'm just going to do a little bit of contour just for fun. If I'm ever going to contour, which I don't really do every day, but like on my wedding day and stuff, I'm going to do contour, but if I am going to do it, I just use NYX blush and taupe. Because it's like the best one for like a bare skin. You just got to use a tiny amount, you don't want to use much. And I just lightly go in my contour. My hollow of my cheekbone. A little bit down the jaw. And then I put a little bit more blush on. I put a powder one on. This is Flush. Oh, it's also called Flush, that's so funny. From Smashbox, they're blush brushes, which were like the old school ones that have like little mirrors. I don't think they make these anymore, but the tone just matches this one perfectly, which is quite funny because they're both called Flush. I'll apply this a little bit more, kind of wider, no, a little bit wider, not more wider, than the liquid one, just because I love a lot of blush. Okay, and then like the finishing touch that I love to add for skin is fake freckles. Absolutely love fake freckles. I love to use like a brow pen like I mentioned earlier. But I also really love using a brow pencil, and the one that I found that works so well is the MAC eyebrow styler, because it's so fine. I need to find like a really other one because I've literally at the end of this one, but I think Soap and Glory do a really fine brow pencil, and I might give that one a go just to see. But I just prefer using a pencil over like, you know, those freckle like liquid liner type things that people are bringing out at the moment, like the Lottie London one. No, not Lottie, is it Lottie London? I think it is. And then there's one called Freck, I know. But it just, with those, like if I use, like I can use like a brow pen and they work fine, but it can just look a little bit fine, like precise, because it's more of a liquid. So I tend to always have to like push over the top of those. But sometimes I like to put it as like a base, and you can get them really tiny, which looks nice, but sometimes it can look a little bit fake if you do too many. And the key is to do them in kind of like clusters, like everywhere. So I'm just using a pen just to show you. And you can do that kind of stampy technique, and it's fine, but it's just not my preferred one. I like to just go in with a pencil and just kind of go crazy like this. Just literally doing random areas, and it just looks really natural, because I think that's why I love a pencil so much, is that you can do it really quick and you can change how they look with pressure. And I always take them onto my brow and into like the inner corner here, just because it looks more natural, and then I kind of use lighter pressure as I come out. I don't know if you can even see it on the camera, but oh. All the time, and it looks so nice. So that is my foundation skin routine. I hope you guys enjoyed it. It was a lot of fun to share it with you, and look out for more videos, because I'm determined to finally actually have consistent videos this year. Hopefully, fingers crossed. I'm going to do my hardest, try my hardest to do it. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!